They promise to save the world, to help the helpless, to be the light in the darkest corners of the earth. For over 30 years, Hope for All was celebrated as one of the greatest humanitarian organizations of our time. They raised billions. They had the support of presidents, kings, and Hollywood celebrities. Their logo, a pair of hands cradling a child, was recognized in every corner of the globe. But behind the perfect image, there was a secret so dark, so disturbing, that even today, many refuse to believe it was real. This is a story of greed, betrayal, and the people brave enough to expose the truth. In 1987, a man named Richard Callahan founded Hope for All. He was charismatic, soft-spoken, and claimed he had been inspired after witnessing famine in Ethiopia. The organization began small, just a handful of volunteers delivering food to refugee camps. Their slogan was simple: every child deserves a future. By the mid-1990s, Hope for All had exploded in popularity. Telethons raised millions. Famous musicians performed at their charity concerts. Politicians proudly posed for photos while handing over giant donation checks. They said they had built 1,000 schools in Africa, that they fed 5 million children every year, that every dollar donated went directly to those in need. But not everyone believed the story. In 2010, an independent journalist named Hannah Lee traveled to South Sudan to report on Hope for All's flagship project, a sprawling orphanage that was supposedly housing 2,000 children. When she arrived, she found an empty compound. There were no children, no teachers, just abandoned buildings and weeds growing through the cracks. When Hannah confronted local staff, they claimed the orphanage had been relocated, but refused to give details. Her report caused a small stir online, but Hope for All dismissed her claims as fake news and cultural misunderstandings. Most people believed them. After all, this was Hope for All, the good guys. But Hannah's investigation had planted a seed of doubt. Enter Daniel Rivera. Daniel had been an accountant for Hope for All for over a decade. Like everyone else, he believed in the mission until he discovered something strange. While reviewing financial statements, Daniel noticed large sums of money being transferred to shell companies in the Cayman Islands. He asked his boss about it. The next day, he was reassigned to a different department. But Daniel couldn't let it go. He began quietly copying files, storing them on encrypted drives. What he found made his blood run cold. Only 8 cents of every dollar donated reached humanitarian projects. Millions were spent on private jets, luxury vacations, and million-dollar salaries for executives. In some countries, Hope for All had partnered with officials involved in child trafficking. Daniel knew he couldn't go to the police. Too many were on the organization's payroll, so he took a risk. He contacted Hannah Lee, the journalist who had exposed the fake orphanage years earlier. Together, they planned to bring down one of the most powerful organizations in the world. In January 2019, Hannah published a report, Hope for All, The Lies Behind the Smiles. The article included emails, bank statements, and secret recordings of executives laughing about milking donors dry. The reaction was immediate and explosive. Social media erupted. Protesters surrounded Hope for All offices around the world. Celebrities who had once championed the cause scrambled to distance themselves. But the backlash wasn't enough. Within days, Hannah received death threats. Daniel's car was rammed off the road by an unmarked vehicle. Both went into hiding. Governments launched investigations. But Hope for All's network of influence was vast. For 2 years, court cases dragged on. Witnesses were intimidated. Evidence disappeared. Then, in 2021, a breakthrough. An anonymous insider provided video footage of a secret meeting where executives discussed bribing officials and covering up abuse. It was a smoking gun. Richard Callahan and 5 top executives were arrested. They were charged with fraud, money laundering, and conspiracy. The court ordered Hope for All to pay $3.8 billion in damages, the largest settlement in charity history. But for many victims, no amount of money could erase the pain. Hope for All no longer exists. Its buildings stand empty, its logo erased from billboards and donation boxes. Daniel Rivera now lives under a new identity. He sacrificed his career, his safety, and his family to reveal the truth. Hannah Lee continues her work as an investigative journalist, but she never travels alone anymore, and millions of donors are left asking the same question. How could we have been so blind? Do you think more secrets like this are still hidden today? How many other organizations are lying to us?